service level management can be used to improve any service that's provided by IT. And by doing so, by using it to improve that service, we take a good step at standardizing how IT is viewed by the business or viewed by the organization. Today, I'm going to be discussing how we at Computer8 have used it to improve application support, or more specifically, the application support function or service. And thereby, I want to show how we have also used it to help demonstrate IT's value to the business as well. In 2004, Nicholas Carr published a controversial book entitled, Does IT Matter? Now, this book immediately sparked a firestorm within IT. Carr suggests that IT has little strategic importance and that really is simply a commodity input to the business. And as reflected here in Larry Ellison's quote, he suggests that business should actively reduce spending on IT. And this is because he maintains that an IT investment can actually put your business at a cost disadvantage. Now, this book has influenced the thinking of many business leaders, and it's forcing IT organizations to demonstrate the value that they bring to the business. So as a result, IT organizations are being scrutinized more closely than ever. We're striving to be more relevant, we're trying to add value, and we're trying to show value. And we're doing all this while keeping the business's lights on. We're doing all this while keeping all the balls in the air, so to speak. And because IT is so entwined with all the business functions of the organization, many IT organizations are using service management strategies to change the perception of IT as simply just a software development house. And we're also using service management strategies to demonstrate the value in the services that we provide. So many IT organizations are successfully using really the ITIL service management model to demonstrate value to the business. And ITIL is a service management discipline that's focused on the customer, so it's well suited for this purpose to enable us to demonstrate value to the business. And more specifically, IT organizations are using service level management and service level agreements to better manage their organizations. So today in this webinar, I want to show you how you can use service level management and service level agreements. I'd like to show you how they can be used to better align your services with your business objectives, manage your services, measure your services, and also improve your services, and actually achieve a 20 to 30% improvement in your services. And that can translate into either more work or doing it for less cost. So in today's webinar, I'm going to show you a three-step approach to show you how service level management can improve the delivery of application support. And simply, I'm going to go through the three steps noted here. I'm going to provide you with an understanding of ITIL and IT service management. I'm going to discuss how you can implement meaningful SLAs within your organization, and also then show you how you can manage with those SLAs. So first, I want to provide you with a working understanding of ITIL, and specifically ITIL service management. And to do that, I want to quickly review its origins and also discuss a little bit about its background. Okay, so what is ITIL? ITIL stands for the Information Technology Infrastructure Library. And it really is a set of IT service management guidelines. Now, many people view it as the definitive framework for IT service management. Now, there's other frameworks, COBIT, Microsoft's MOS, and now CMMI's new service model, the SVC model. And also ISO 20000 is really the audit standard for IT service management. But really, ITIL is the de facto operational framework. It's the one that's most widely used, and it's also the one that's most widely recognized. IT service management is a discipline for managing IT. And it's really intended to align IT's services with the needs of the business. IT service management really involves a shift in focus from technology to a focus on the quality of the services that we provide. And that shift in focus is necessary if we want to show value to the business. We have to focus on our relationships with our customers, and we also must begin managing IT as a service. And IT service management helps us to do that. In 1989, the Office of Government Commerce in the UK published the first ITIL book, and it was entitled Service Level Management. Between 1989 and 2000, the OGC collaborated with many IT service professionals from around the world and received contributions of service management best practices. And these collaborations have continued up to the present day. And in 2007, in specifically May of 2007, ITIL version 3 was published. So for version 3, the OGC created a comprehensive service lifecycle. And it's comprised of 5 phases. Service strategy, depicted here in the middle, followed by service design, followed by service transition, followed by service operation, and all encompassed within continual service improvement. Now here's another view of that same life cycle, and it shows the outputs of each phase and how each output is passed on to the next subsequent phase. It shows the interactions, and it shows how each one focuses on service operations. In other words, each output is really focused on setting up service operations. So you can see how the phases flow from one phase to the next, and you can see how the outputs are oriented towards service operations. In service strategy, the service is defined and modeled, and the cost of the service is actually modeled and defined here as well. In service design, the actual service is designed and developed, and it reflects the documents or the expectations of the organization that were set in service strategy. In service transition, the service is implemented, and the cost of the service is actually validated here. And in service operation, this is where the service is delivered and managed, and it's also measured. And then finally, in continuous service improvement, opportunities for optimization are identified and implemented. So you can see it's a closed loop cycle where it feeds back upon itself and is continually seeking to improve upon how we deliver service. Now here's another view of that same life cycle, but more from an application support view. As before, you can see how the phases flow from one to the other. And you can also see how each one is focused on service operations. Now, additionally, you can also see how the work processes evolve. In each phase, we are identifying requirements that are necessary or that will be used within service operations. And it shows how these are all integrated within a service management tool. So as we learn more about how the service is going to be run, we identify requirements that are reflected in the day-to-day processes that are used by the service management team. A tool such as the one depicted here, which is Tracer, Tracer's computer-aided service management tool, enables us to ensure that we're following the processes that have been specified, and also allows us to collect data that are used then to drive continuous service improvement efforts, and then improve how we deliver or how we operate the service. I want to walk through a specific example and walk you through this life cycle with that example in mind. Service strategy would recognize the needs of the business, and it would determine the types of service and the types of work that should be done by an application support team. So for instance, in our example, let's say that service strategy has determined that the team will manage all incidents associated with the applications used by the business. Service design would define how the team will work with those incidents. It'll define what incidents are, how they'll be processed, how they'll be resolved. Service design will also be used to establish service level goals for each severity level of the incident. For instance, resolving all critical incidents within 4 hours. And these would be noted within the team's service level agreement. Service transition would define the team's incident process and would implement